Happy Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this week's weekly gospel. Today, let's see, we're gonna try and get kind of deep into things without getting too deep into things. But it's been a pretty powerful past 2 days for me. I'm not gonna go into specifics because this is kind of more of a personal thing that's happening right now that I'm going through. Not like big life events or anything. Nothing actually has really happened in my life. I'm just reflecting, changing myself. But I'm changing. I'm kind of. I've gone through a lot the past 2 days, and I'm not going to go too specific into it because that's my own business. But I will just, whatever. It's weekly gospel, so I'm going to kind of talk about my story, what's been going on. If you ask anyone else, they'll tell you, yeah, Hunter, he went to church, and he went to the beach, and went to school. He's had a pretty boring past 2 days. The beach was lit, but it's been a very powerful time. So, around, I think last week, I decided, that I needed to go talk. Okay, I have an English project, so the group chat's going to be coming in, as I vlog. Okay, I decided I wanted to talk to Hunter about a few things, so I made an appointment. We started coordinating to figure out a time, and then, as we kind of settled in, I started, he said, hey, do you have any questions for me that you want me to, kind of look into in advance before we meet? So that's in the back of my mind, like anytime I come with it, I'm, coming up with questions that I've had in the past, however long, to ask him, while I'm meeting with him. So, and then that also combines with, quite a long, I won't say quite a long time, but recently I've just, I've been going to church and been super pumped for it, and I'm not really listening to the sermon, and I'm not really actually worshiping. I love my church's worship music so much that to the point where I get so excited to listen to it that I'm just fully embracing the song and not even worshiping, what's the word, mentally, what do these words mean? I'm just singing the words. I'm not, processing wow, oh, God is the Lord of my life, stuff like that. So, that being something that I've recognized on Sunday, I went to 2 services, and first service, I kind of got there and I was like, man, I never really worship, and I think this morning would be a good morning to worship. So I did the little worship, and then the message was on prayer, which I haven't been praying a lot for recently as well. But that's not really the conviction point, although I have started praying more. But really, it was, the message was hey, we come into prayer, and God, I need this, can you please help with this, I need healing here, can you work that out, can you help with this, just a list of things that we're like, oh man, I'm gonna pray, God, please see that, and there's nothing wrong with that, because God is almighty, he's all powerful, God can do all of those things, and giving those things up to God is an important thing, it's a good thing to do, in prayer, but a lot of times we look over some of the other aspects of prayer, and we focused on, what Pastor Garrett calls a reflective dialogue. And that's, kind of, at least from what I got from it, it was, kind of sitting down with God and saying, okay, maybe if it's situational, hey, God, I prayed about this situation, what do I need to do? What's my part in this? But for me, it wasn't really situational. It was just hey, God, I'm here. Do you have anything to say to me? I sat there, and God kind of brought up to me a thing. It's not necessarily a sin, but it's something that could lead to a sin. I'm not going to go into detail about, but basically I decided to stop doing something on Sunday there. I was, it came into my mind. I'm like, okay, God, I'm stopping it. And I decided to stop, and then from, And I think what separated that from, like, there are other sermons, I'll listen to and I'll go like, oh yeah, I should probably, yeah, I'm going to start reading my Bible every morning, and I don't. Or like, I'm going to start praying every hour. No, I don't. Stuff like that. And another way God worked it just that Sunday, to bring his plans, I'm paying attention to the sermon because I know I haven't been in the past. I'm paying attention because I'm trying to come up with questions because I'm talking to Hunter, so I'm more focused on it, just being that the fact that there's another person involved naturally adds somewhat of an accountability aspect. And then lastly, I met up with my friend Aiden afterwards. We sat down for like 45 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that after the service, to talk. And, it was originally going to be about other stuff, but I kind of shared with him what I had decided that day. And, and then as the conversation went on, other areas of my life that, I maybe thought about working on previously, or, other time. And, something that normally I would decide in church and then never think about again, it was coming back and like, hey, I am literally, words are coming out of my mouth right now. I need to figure out what the hell I'm going to say. And, as you figure out what you're going to say to this person because you're talking to them, I'm literally speaking, and as I'm addressing the situation, I'm like, okay, what am I going to say? I'm formulating, my brain just goes to natural problem solving, formulate a plan. This is what we're going to do. And kind of having that time to talk to him gave me the, the reasoning, the force to, it forced me to say like, okay, I used to read my Bible, I want to read my Bible, I want to be doing quiet times because we talked about quiet times. I want to, stop this. And it just kind of all came together, and I formulated a plan, and that I finally executed that this morning, in kind of changing my life. And then I started doing the reflective prayer. I did that thing when I got home from school, maybe before I did my homework, because I didn't want to start my homework. And before I went to school. So after I got home from school, I came back for another reflective prayer. And this one I'll share, I guess. But I remembered there's some verse, and I don't know where it is, and I can't quote it perfectly, but I know that the basic outline is, in all that you do, do the task as if you're completing it for the Lord your God. And that's, I'm in school. Like, holy smokes, that is a crazy commitment. That all the schoolwork I do, and I don't know, maybe you guys were perfect when you were in school, or maybe you're in school and you're like a little angel and you do everything right. But for the majority of the population, math homework, you get an answer like x equals 129 over 367. Everyone knows you did it wrong, but you know what? Whatever, I'm going to the next problem. I'm not going to figure out why the hell I got some stupid, ridiculous fraction. I don't really care. I'm moving on. Or, you have an English thing and some, crossword or something like that. And like, yeah, this word clearly doesn't fit, but I'm not going to figure out this thing because the crossword has to be perfect for everything to work out. And I'm not going to spend time making it perfect. I'm just going to write words down and move on with my life. And I kind of sat there like, if I was turning my math homework into God, would I get an answer like 1537 over 1783 plus or minus root 5 over 37? Would I get that fraction and be like, No, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably say like, oh, the creator of the universe is going to be grading my math homework. I should probably figure out what I did wrong so I don't look like an idiot. And I had to sit down and I thought about it for a while, like, because this is a big change. So luckily tonight, my math homework was not too grueling. It was fairly easy. But that's something that I sat down and realized tonight. Like, decided to change when I'm going through schoolwork and just work in general. Remembering something I've been avoiding for a really long time, doing everything as if you're doing it for the Lord your God, which is a really hard thing to do because he has pretty high standards. So that's all. Today's Monday, so just the past 2 days have been pretty big for me in taking a part of my life out that was kind of important to me, and deciding to stop doing those things and deciding to put all this, effort into my schoolwork, which is going to make my life a lot harder. And on top of that, a lot of my Christian friends just don't do this, This is a kind of a point in the faith that's pretty far, like, you're literally giving up everything. So yeah, past 2 days have been pretty exciting. So I just want to create a weekly gospel for y'all to share kind of what I've been going through. I'm really excited for Wednesday to meet up with Hunter and talk about, all the questions that I've had, and meet up with Reagan and tell him all the stuff that's been going on. And yeah, so that's your weekly gospel. I hope you all have enjoyed today's weekly gospel. If you did like it, if you didn't dislike, don't forget to share your opinion in the comment section down below, including any personal revelation you might have had yourself this week. And I'll see you next week on next week's weekly gospel. Bye.